The other scene that I was curious about, most of this was shot with the single camera, is that right? Or
all of it was, well, I mean, yeah, our camera and Screech's camera, those are the two cameras.
And there's the drive-in movie scene. That was all one camera? Were there multiple takes, or was that one roll?
That's all one camera, yeah. That is, I mean, if you want to, technically, that's the only scene in the movie we lit. We had one battery-powered light that was on the hood of their car.
Yeah, that's a powerful scene.
Yeah, I love that scene. It's the last drive-in movie theater left in Southern California. It's in the Inland Empire, and it's actually 5 different theaters, so it's like miles and miles of cracked asphalt, and you know, we were probably there on like a Tuesday night, and there were probably 6 other cars in the whole place, but 5 movies playing to no one.
It had a really strong feel to it. Congratulations. Yeah. Good job. Yeah. Thank you.
How's it going? Name's Matt.
Hey, nice to meet you, Matt.
Nice to meet you. What I was wondering was what kind of influences in terms of music, in terms of your choices in music and through the movie, what influenced you? What were you trying to convey with it, if anything?
Well, you know, I felt like there are a couple different layers of music in the movie. Like there's this really natural thing that's just like, you know, in the last scene in the movie, Screech is listening to the Germs in his car, filming himself because that's what he was listening to, you know, or when Leslie's packing and they're going to Santa Cruz, like she was playing the Smiths in her room, so they're listening to the Smiths. But I wanted the movie to have kind of its own layer of music. And I was trying to figure out what that should sound like. And it's hard with skating because, you know, and also with just youth in general, there's so many associations that come with this world. And I had this idea that the movie was kind of turning into this Lovers on the Run movie, where, you know, but instead of like escaping the law, they were escaping the suburbs. And so I thought, well, they're trying to find paradise. So in paradise, there's going to be rock music that's like sung in Swedish, right? Like, and it just seemed like this absurd over the top idea, but I loved it. And that kind of, it unlocked this thing where it's this band Dunion and they're on this label Mexican Summer. And I kind of thought, I want, if this is a movie about what's happening right now, I want music in it that's being played right now. And so we raided their label, and they have this incredible stash of like kind of California psych rock, and also they have awesome metal. So it's just like this perfect label that opened themselves up to us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was about all I had. So.
Okay, cool.
There's I don't know, a fearsome audience here. Or maybe they're tired. We've been watching movies since noon today.
Dan, we got a question.
11 a.m. tomorrow. I hear we got one more. Yeah?
Yep.
Sweet.
So my name is Bernita. Nice to meet you.
Hey,
I actually had a question about yourself, about you. I was wondering, after spending this much time filming one particular person and that particular culture, what moved you the most? Or maybe what meaning you made out of your time that you spent with this particular group of people and individuals?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Hard question. I think the first thing that comes to mind is that Fulton skate park that raised Screech, where it's closed down now in Fullerton, but it's literally this place that he went to from the age of 9 on, where he learned how to skate. And but just seeing the way that you know, all these kids from all different backgrounds kind of found that place and kind of created their own family out of that place, and they really stick together in this kind of deeply moving way to me. And I think that, you know, there's an older generation from that skate park that really is like that 80s punk generation, and they sort of pass down this, I don't know, like code of ethics about how you behave toward each other. that really values, they're really kind to each other, and it's like, if one person has something, they share it with everybody else. And it's, you know, I think that was kind of amazing to see, like, just this innate instinct people have to find family and be good to one another, you know? And you can see they're like the 9 and 10-year-olds now that were coming up there when we were filming. I don't, you know, now it's closed, so they're not going in there anymore. But you could see the 20-year-olds kind of starting to take care of the young ones, you know? And I thought that was really cool.
Well, thank you. I just wondered what it would be like to spend that much time with people who maybe were really different than you, and if there was any one nugget from that that you maybe carry with you. And it sounds like you're talking about the family. I just wondered how it had maybe changed you in some way.
I think the only way I was able to get through doing it was, the thing that worked was to, like, you're trying to get people to open up and show something about their life, and the only thing they have faith in, they have to have faith in you making it, right? And I just kind of realized that there's actually real strength in being kind, you know, just being honest and truthful and kind about where you're coming from. And that sometimes the instinct in the moment is to try and explain. It's just like, just be nice and be consistent, be who you are, and people can trust in that, and you can create something together, you know? And, you know, I think that the fact that the movie exists is like proof that that worked, because that was all I had to go on when I made it, you know?
Well, that's very powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Well, I got one more question, Tristan, then we're going to have to wrap up. I'm sure you got a life too. So, you know, I've worked with at-risk kids for like 2 decades and was one myself before that, and you learn to define success differently. And when you look at Screech, who like was making a genuine effort to be a good dad when he knew that he could be around him and be that person, and was trying to be successful in what he loves, you know, which is the American dream, just working hard and trying to do that. And in the end of your film, at least, ends up, you know, with a regular kind of 9 to 5, and that's an accomplishment. I mean, would you say that Screech is, you know, successful? And I mean, how does that? I mean, does that bring? I don't want to put you on the spot and ask you a question, but does that bring anything up for you? Just about the definition of success.
I mean, I like that. I really like that idea you just said of, like, you know, finding that everybody has to do in life, you know, to be happy. And I think that, you know, you could say, oh, well, he's found happiness by skating swimming pools, you know? Like, that's a place where the world makes sense to him. But I also think that what I constantly saw in him was a desire to be happy, and I feel like, you know, he's fighting to, all he wants is to be a good person, you know, and he's trying to figure out how to be a good person. But I think that as long as he's fighting to figure out how to be a good person, he's a successful person, you know? Right. I mean, and that's everybody's fight for their whole lives, right? Is trying to figure out how to be a good person, you know, and stay there and not be, you know, not to succumb to all the pressure around them or whatever obstacles life puts in your way. But, you know, and it was like I think the reason I was so committed to filming him for so long was I kept seeing that reflected back, you know. It was like he's fighting as hard as he can to be a good person. Every time I see him, I'm amazed at that, you know. So I would absolutely define him as a successful person.
Right on. Thank you for that insight, man. You shed a lot of light on it. And so, what's next for you as an artist? And I asked I know I'll probably have to watch Dragonslayer like 20 more times, so like that'll keep me tied over for a little bit. But like, what's next on your plate?
I mean, I just really hope that I get to make another movie. You know, making these things are so hard, and I'm totally committed to doing it because they're, you know, I believe in it. You know, so I really, I mean, I have a ton of ideas and I have things I'm working on, but I just hope I get, you know, a second one out there as soon as I humanly can.
I know the drill. I know the drill, my man. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tristan. Appreciate you sharing your evening with us and your film. And you know, I can speak for this whole room full of people that I was really touched by it and moved, and look forward to seeing it again and much more of your work. So, thanks so much, Tristan.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Hey, what's this button do?